If you keep losing trades without knowing exactly why, your trading journal may be the problem. In this video, I will show you how to build a powerful Notion trading journal that tracks your trades, exposes your mistakes, reveals your best setups, track your performance, and helps you turn your trading data into better decisions. Hello traders, welcome back to FXPilot, where we simplify trading concepts into practical lessons you can confidently apply on your chart. If your goal is to become a disciplined and consistently profitable trader, then you are in the right place. In today's lesson, we are going to build an advanced trading journal in Notion from scratch. I will show you how to structure your trade database, record the information that actually matters, analyze your performance, track your mistakes, and turn your trading history into useful information you can use to improve your execution. Now let's dive straight into it. All right, today we will build trade database, performance tracking, mistake tracking, setup analysis, trading dashboard, which is meant to record, organize, analyze, and improve. The goal is not to create a complicated Notion page. We are building a practical system that takes your raw trade history and turns it into information you can actually use. Now let's go to Notion. All right, to get started, you go to Notion notion.so. So you go to notion.so, it will take you to this page where you see login and get started. So if this is your first time, you click on get Notion free and then login. So I already have an account with them, so I will kindly log in. All right, so after you log in, you'll get into your page like this. You can log in with your Gmail, you can log in with your email address and the rest. So once you arrive in your own, you will not see previous information like this. So you click on, you go to new page, go to where they say new page. Guys, follow me step by step. I will teach you everything you need to know. So you go to new page and click on plus, this plus sign, add a page. Now to add a page, you can type in journal, okay, or my journal. If you take your mouse upwards like this, you will see where to add icon, where to add cover, okay. So you can add icon, you click on add icon, choose any icon you like. If you don't like the icon that is there, you can upload, choose any icon. So I just select this. So you choose any icon you like. So if you need cover page, you add a cover like this. That's it. So after that, you now create your database by coming below here, click below, and then click forward slash, look at it, forward slash for command. So you click forward slash like this, and then scroll and look for table view. Scroll and look for table view. Yes, this is the one. Don't choose this one. Choose this table view. All right, so now that you have your table view, so the first thing is you start entering your informations. The first thing is you come here and click on change the name to serial number. Change it to serial number and then type 1, serial number 1. Now you click on this point here to get to add a property where they say add property. You click on it and then go to select. Go to select. When you go to select, now you go back. After clicking select, you go back, change the name to pairs. To pairs. And then go to edit property and go to add an option. Now the pairs that you want to trade, GBP USD, enter. Euro USD, enter. gold, SAUD, XAU, USD, gold. If there's any other pair you want to add, you can add. Okay, let's say you want to add GBP, you add, click enter, you click outside the box. Now when you come into this point here, when you come into this cell, you click it. Okay, you can change it, you can switch them. Okay, switch them upwards, you can change them, then you can change the color. Let's say you want gold to be yellow, you want GU to be this, and you want Euro USD to be green. You can change the color. And then GBP JPY, you want it to be purple, so you can change the color. Okay, and then select any one you like, let's say gold. That's it. Then you add another property. This time around we'll add date, so you go to date, click on date, and then come inside of it, choose the date, today's date. Okay, once you choose the date, it will appear. Very simple. Now you see the space, the gap is too much. This is like Excel. Okay, you just adjust them, compress them, compress them. All right, so let's add another property. So you click and click on select. Now you go back and click on, you change the name to weekdays or days of the week. Weekdays. And then edit property, add an option. So you now go ahead with the weekdays. Okay, Friday, enter, Thursday. You can abbreviate them too if you like. Thursday, enter, Wednesday, enter, Tuesday, enter, Monday, enter. You click outside the box. Now you go back, and then if you are okay with the color, this man has no color, so you can make it pink. Okay, you click on whichever day you want to appear. Let's say Monday. You compress it. I like compressing my own so that to look neat. Add another property. Now you're doing this thing according to your trading plan, according to your trading, your checklist. Okay, you're doing it according to how you trade. Now the next thing I will add here, I will go to select. So the next thing I will add is news. I need to know the news that is on that day. So I'll put news, edit property, add an option. So the first three news, FOMC, those high impact news, NFP, CPI, you add them, then the rest you put others. That's it. Enter. That's it. So now this high impact news, I will put red, all of them red. NFP red. So to show high impact, even the others too, I only consider high impact news, so they'll all be in red. So let's assume on that day we have others. The news we have is others. So that is it. The next thing is you add another property. The next thing is your trading model. So I will go to select, edit it, and I will put trading model. edit property, add an option. So my trading model will be market maker buy and sell model. You can use anyone, your own, anyone you like, okay? Any trading model that you're using. So that is it. So my trading model will be this. Okay, so we have the trading model. Sorry, let me. The trading model. So we have added, you can add more. Let's say ICT daily bias, ICT daily bias model. Enter. So you need to have a trading model. Then the next thing is your setup. So the next thing is setup. Click on select, edit it, and add setup. So edit property. Now I will give you the difference between model and setup, because I know a lot of people would like to know. Setups. Okay, so we have power of three or Judas swing, and external range liquidity to internal range liquidity. Internal range liquidity to external range liquidity. Okay, so you can come here, put external range liquidity. You can give them color if you like. Let this be green, let this be blue. Now in case you make mistake, you can come back here and edit it. Okay, come back here and then add an option. I didn't add the internal range, I didn't click on enter. So external range. All right, so that's added now. So you can change the color of that. Let's say pink. All right, so now guys, pay attention. What's the difference between trading model and a setup? Now listen. Your trading model is your overall directional compass. Your overall directional compass. It tells you where you are on the macro delivery curve. That's the bigger picture. And which side of the market holds the institutional money. So that's the trading model. Okay. Then the setup is your precision execution weapon. It tells you, now that I know the macro direction, what exact high or low sweep, liquidity sweep, and internal gap will I use to place my trade? So that's the basic difference between a model and a setup. So let's continue. Now the next thing you will add, the next property to add is bias. So if you know that you are moving from internal to external, so your direction or your bias is what? Bearish or bullish. So we'll click on select, we'll change it to bias. Then you go to edit property, add an option, bullish. Anytime you type, you click enter. Bearish, click enter. All right, so I will now go back in and click the box, change the color of this bearish to red, okay, and select any one you like. I'll choose bullish. and then I will adjust my this thing. Now what's the next property? You click on plus to add another property. So the next property will be confluence. Click on confluence. In this case now I will not use select because I can have two or three confluence. So I will use multi select. So I'll click on multi select, then I will go and edit it to confluence. Edit it to confluence. Guys, you can do it based on your own trading plan. Okay, then I'll add an option. So what are my confluence? SMT, enter. Buy side liquidity, enter. Sell side liquidity, enter. Okay, now that's that. So I will click in and then I will use, let me choose SMT as my confluence. The next thing is confirmation. You will also ask what's the difference between confluence and confirmation. I will tell you guys. Just pay attention. That's why I'm here. So I will also use multi-select because I can have two or three more confirmations. So I will click, go back, edit, and add, type it in, confirmation, confirmation. Okay, then go to edit property, add an option. So what are your confirmation? Change in state of delivery, CISD, enter. Fair value gap, enter. Breaker block, enter. So I will click, come here, and I will choose the one I prefer or the one that I see on the chart. Guys, follow me, okay? Follow me. We'll do everything step by step. Now, what is the difference between confluence and confirmation? Take note, confluence tells you where and why, it tells you where and why a high probability trade should happen. Whereas confirmation tells you when to execute the trade to avoid catching a falling knife. So that's the basic difference between confluence and confirmation. They are not the same thing. Now let's move. Now the next thing, the next property is timing or session. So for timing or session, I will choose multi-select. Now the reason is I may take trade during London and at the same time I get a setup during New York, I will also take trade. So that's why I'm making it multi. Okay. So we'll add, just put timing or you can put session, anyone. Now I will come here, add an option, Asia, enter. London, enter. New York. Guys, so we'll go to the chart and do real chart example. Okay, it's not all those things that you are seeing online that there are people are doing, they will not give you example. So I'll put this as red because I don't normally trade this. So these colors are okay. So let me just choose, let me choose New York. Sorry, you can choose. So that's why it is multi. You can enter trade during London and New York. Okay, so that is for timing. So let's add another property. This thing is very easy and simple. It's good that you have it because it will keep you organized and it will keep you in check, and it will also help you to track your own record. All right, so the next thing is we look at chart before the entry. So you screenshot your chart before the entry. So chart before entry. So in this case now we'll choose URL. Now when we do a typical example, you see how we'll get the chart before entry. Okay, so we use URL and then edit it and call it chart before entry. Chart before entry. can put a chart before, doesn't matter. Okay, so this is where we'll paste the link. During the example, we'll fill this other side. We'll go to live chat and do a typical example. Okay, guys, this is not just a theoretical notion class. So everything we'll do everything practically. Now, the next property will be entry method. So in this case now, I will choose select entry method. So I will come here and put and add entry method. Entry method. Click on add an option. So you go to edit property, add an option. Okay, entry method, fair value gap, order block. You click enter. Breaker block. You click enter. Inversion fair value gap. You click enter. Whichever method you use in entering, you can also add. Okay, you can also add. So let me add order block. Let me just give it a color. Let's say purple. So let me choose anyone. Say fair value gap. Okay. Now the next property to add, you can do this on your whatever you want to fill. This is what my standard, okay, for all my subscribers. This is a free gift I'm giving to you. It's a free gift. This is my standard. Follow this standard. It's a free gift for you. So the next thing we'll add is stop loss. So in this case, we are going to choose number. We are going to choose number for stop loss. So I'll click on number, then I'll click on, I'll edit it, stop loss. Then edit property, you go to number format, okay, and click on number. You click this first one, you just want it to be in number, okay. So if your stop loss is 6, you just add it 6. Your stop loss is 2.5, you add it 2.5. Your stop loss is 3, you add it 3. So that's it. We'll do a live example. So let me remove this first. Do a typical example. Now the next thing to add is risk. Is risk, and in this case we also choose number. So I will now edit it and put risk. Risk in percent. Okay, then edit property. In this case, you go to edit property. Sorry, you go to edit property, you go to number format, click on it, and go to percentage. Go to percentage. So if you come here and you add, say my risk is 1%, so it will be there 1%. So guys, follow me. This is how you create your database step by step. Now, the next thing is the result or outcome. So for outcome, we'll choose select. So we'll go to select. So you click on it again. Click on outcome or result. Okay, what was the outcome of the trade? Was it a win or a loss? So I will go to add an option. Win, enter. Loss, enter. So my loss will be red. I will click. My win should be green, and my loss, I'm just adding them colors, should be red. So you select anyone you like. If you like loss, you put loss. But I like win, so I will put win because I like to win. Now the next thing is risk reward. Risk reward ratio. Risk reward ratio. We'll do all these things practically on the chart, guys. So in this case, we'll go to number. Risk reward ratio. We'll go to number, edit it, and put risk reward ratio. Edit property, go to number format and click on number. Okay, so that if my risk reward, if your risk reward is fixed, okay, if your risk reward is fixed, you can use, maybe you can add option, use select, add option, okay, and put 1:2, 1:3, 1:4, 1:5. So in that case now you go to select. If you have a fixed risk reward, you go to change type and then go to select. Then when you click on select, it will now, you now change the name to risk reward and then add option 1:2, 1:3, 1:4, 1:5. So that's how you do it. My own is not fixed. So that's why I'm choosing this. Sometimes I have a risk reward ratio of 1:25. So I will just put 25. If I have a risk reward ratio of 1:10, I will put 10. Okay, so the next thing is, okay, so the risk reward, you can just type it in because the number, let's say 4, type it in, so it will be there. So during a practical example, we'll put values there. So let's not add anything yet. Okay, so let's add a property. The next property we'll add is profit and loss. Profit and loss. So in this case now, we'll go to number, profit and loss. So you go to number and then edit it, or PNL, edit, number format, go to USD. Me, I like to put my own in USD. If you like your own to be in percentage, you put, but I like my own to be in dollars so that I will know how much I am making. Okay, if I'm making 500, 200, 300. Okay, as you type it 300, it will enter as $300. You can see. So let's leave it. When we do a typical example, we'll add value there. So that's your PNL, profit and loss. So the next thing we'll add is the chart after entry. Remember, we have added our chart before entry. So you take screenshot of your chart before you enter. Then after the thing has played out, let's say during your review in the evening, or you are checking your trade, you can screenshot the final result. If you hit your stop loss, screenshot it like that. If you hit your target, screenshot it like that. Okay, then later you review. You will see, I'll give you step by step on what to do, so don't worry. So in this case now, chart before number, we use URL. So I will now edit it and change the name to chart after entry. Let me just complete this one. Chart. What's the state? What's the state of your, what did I do? I went and did personal. Chart after entry. So I'll change it back. If you make a mistake, you can change it back, okay? So chart after entry. Now the next thing is mistakes. So the next thing is mistakes. So we select multi, and then you put mistakes. You need to know the mistakes that you made. Mistakes. So now you go to add an option. So you add FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMO. Then the next thing will be late entry. The next thing will be over trading. Over trading. The next thing will be early entry. Early entry. The next thing will be no mistake. What else? No inducement. There was no inducement and you took the trade. So it's part of the mistake. Okay, so this is okay. All right, so you come here, you choose whichever one. You can color it color it, you know how to color it, just come color this, no mistake, I'll give it green. Okay, and then you just put whichever one you want to. Okay, you can select multi, that's why it is multi. You can add fear of missing out, over trading, early entry or late entry. Okay, all right, that's that. So the next and the final thing, is trade notes. Trade note, in this case you choose text, the things I need to take down. Trade notes, trade notes. Okay, so here you leave it as text, so you can come and type sell side liquidity swept. Follow me guys, sell side liquidity swept, waited for, waited for, you can put all this in small letters please. Waited for CISD, it's just a note. Okay, there was strong displacement, entered with, you entered with fair value gap, comma, the trade gave 3R. So that is your note. So here now you have your trade note. So that is all guys for this part, this aspect of it. So that is that for this aspect of it. Now let's say this was done on a Monday, okay, and you want to you want to continue by Tuesday. So you come here, you type 2. Oh, sorry. You come on this new page, add a new page and type 2, enter. So in this case now you don't need to type those things again. You just click on this box, you select GBP USD, select the date 10, okay, select Tuesday. So we'll do it for 5 days because we have a performance curve to plot. So guys, follow me, I'm giving you a full package. So the next one is, let's say there was CPI news. So the next one with, let's say ICT model. The next one will be, let's say internal range to external range, bearish bias. These are just example guys, you don't need to worry too much. Let's say you have SMT and sell side liquidity was taken. Okay, even here you can add, and you can add yes, you can make it multi, that's why it is multi. So you continue guys, just follow me. Let's say your confirmation was fair value gap, you add, just add whatever you did. Chart before, okay, this one will do it when we are doing example. Then you come here, entry method, let's say breaker block, stop loss value, we'll do it when we do example. And let's just put any stop loss value here, 5, because we only have just one example. I will do just one example, 1%. So let's say it was a win. Risk reward, let's say 10. Guys, these are just examples, okay? Let's say you made $450. Chart after entry, you can screenshot anything, okay? It's just examples. Mistakes, that is, you put all of this when maybe you made loss, okay? So no mistake. And then you put your note, all right? Okay, so now you come again, you add new page, call it 3. I just want to do like 5. So let's say I took Euro USD on that will be 11, right? On Wednesday. And we'll do it for 5 days. others. So these are just examples, guys. Just follow me. I'm doing this because we have something to plot. We have a performance curve to plot. So power of 3, bullish, SMT. These are just examples. But you in real life, you put exactly what you did. Your trading, everything you did must be exactly what you did. So New York, we don't trade during Asia. Chart, okay. Inversion fair value gap. Stop loss, let's say 3, 1%. A win. Risk reward, let's say 5. And then I made 650. Okay, no mistake. I'm not saying you will not make mistake. Oh, these are just examples because since I won, I'm not supposed to have any mistake because I followed my trading plan and my checklist. So number 4, GBP JPY, and that will be on the 12th. So that will be Thursday. We just want to do it 5 days. Let's say there was FOMC news. Okay, internal to external, bullish, buy side liquidity taking, fair value gap, New York, order block 7. Guys, these are just example. So let's say I made 750. Oh. However, let's say I made it was a late entry, but however, I still got profit. Okay, so the last one, let's say I took GBP USD again, and this will be on the 13th. That's Friday. NFP news on that day, and maybe I took the trade during London. So market maker model, external to internal, bias bearish. There was SMT divergence. That was why I took the trade. And then CISD was my confirmation, and I took the trade during London. My entry model was fair value gap, and my stop loss was, let's say, 6. Okay, here 1%. Here to 1%. Guys, just follow me. So here was a win. Here also a win. I'm just putting a situation, a case where, let's say this was reward was 8. I'm giving a situation where you won all the trades. Okay, that does not mean you win all the trades, but I'm just taking an example. So now here, let's assume we made $1,000. Okay, no mistake. And then you put your note and the rest. All right, so now we have gotten 5 days of trade. So now remember, you need to give a name to your database. Okay, so my database name, let me say FX Pilot 3. FXPilot 3. Now, the next thing you do here is to add your calendar. So you add calendar. So when you click here, you go to calendar, and then you name it calendar. Follow me guys. Calendar. Okay, so this is your calendar. This is how it is. This is how it will look like. Okay, so the next thing you do is to add your chart, your performance chart. So you go to chart, click on chart. So now this is the chart. Okay, let's put the name performance. What am I doing? Performance curve. Performance curve. Okay, now you now go to edit chart. Under this edit chart, you put the type of chart you want. So I want it in a line. I want a line chart. Okay, okay, so we go to chart. As you click on chart, you put the name performance curve. Okay, then we go to edit chart. Now you select the type you want. I will choose the line. Okay, I will choose the line. So that's it. So this will now show my performance curve. Okay, all right, so it is not yet over guys. So we'll go back to table. So this is our table view. This is our table view. This is our table view. So we'll do an example. Okay, but let me just put a value here so that our chart will be complete. Let me just put 300 here. We'll do an example guys, don't worry. So I want to plot the chart first. I want to plot the chart. All right, so now the next thing is you go to calendar and then you go to settings. Now you want to the things you want to see on your calendar is what we want to do now. So you go to settings. Now you go to property visibility. So you click property visibility. Now I want to see my PNL. You click here. I want to see my PNL. Then what else do I want to see? I like to see my risk reward, anything you want to see. So let me put my risk reward here. I want to see my risk reward. And what else? Okay, then another thing, I want to see my outcome. Where's my outcome? Okay, this is my outcome. I want to see if I won or I lost. Okay, then the next thing is color coding. So conditional color. So I will click on conditional color. Okay, now guys, pay attention and follow me. Conditional color. So I will click on new color. So I will click on PNL, add again, PNL, add again, PNL. Okay, all right, so I will come here, come to this point and click when PNL is greater than 0, the color should be green. Select green. When PNL is less than 0, the color should be red. When PNL is equal to 0, the color should be neutral, okay, or gray. That's it. So your calendar will not appear like this, so that on the day that you lose, that day will be red. On the day you lose, that day will be red. Okay, any day you win, it will appear like this. All right, so I didn't add risk reward here, that's why it's not here. So all right, so the next thing is our chart. Okay, performance curve. Okay, this is our chart. All right, so now we'll go to our performance curve. Now look at what I will do. I'll go to settings. Now on the settings, what do I want to see? So you go to what to show on the x-axis. On the x-axis, I want to see date. On the y-axis, we want to see PNL. Okay. On the x-axis, we want to see date. Sorry, that's a mistake. So we'll see day. Click on day. And then on the y-axis, we want to see our PNL. And then click on sum. Once you click on PNL, you click on sum. All right, very good. So you can see this is your performance curve. So date on the y-axis and then PNL on the y-axis. So when you click on PNL, you click on sum. Okay, now you can see our curve. Okay, this is our performance curve. So this is how you plot your performance curve. This is how you plot your performance curve. Your calendar is here. Your table is here. Okay. All right. So guys, watch this video over and over to understand how to prepare your own, and go and prepare yours. Okay. Go and prepare yours. All right, guys. So I hope you understand what we just did on Notion. I hope you know how to get it, do your own, prepare it, and follow it up. Okay. All right. So now let's see how the journal connects to real trades. So now let's connect the journal to the actual trading process. We will take a real chart example, document the setup, capture the text, record the execution, and then see how that trade becomes useful data inside the journal. So let's just do a real chart example. So guys, the only thing we will be adding will be the screenshot that I promised. Or every other thing you already know how to do it. So I'll show you how to add the screenshot of your trade. So let's go to trading view now for an example. All right, so here we are on the ray chart. So this is EuroCAD daily time frame. Okay, this is EuroCAD daily time frame. And then let me explain what happened here. You see that price took sell side liquidity and then mitigated on the other block here. So after taking sell side liquidity, price landed on this other block, also took this sell side liquidity as well, and then gave us an SMT divergence. So it gave us an SMT divergence with GBP card. So let me show you. Now look at it. In this case, price took out this sell side liquidity. Price took out that sell side liquidity. So price took out that sell side liquidity and then mitigated on this demand zone. This is a strong demand zone. Okay. Now as you can see, if you have not watched my video on SMT divergence, please go and watch it. Now you can see when GBP card is making a lower low, Euro card is making a higher low. So this is your confluence. This is your confluence. Okay. This SMT is your confluence. So what are you seeing here? We are seeing sell side liquidity taking, SMT divergence taking. So okay, and SMT divergence presence. So we have sell side liquidity taking, that's one of the confluence, SMT divergence presence. Okay, so now what you do, remember from our lesson on SMT divergence, we'll take the one for failure swing. Okay, the one that failed to take the low. So what we'll do, however, I will show you the two. Okay, guys, this account is not a premium account, so I will not be playing price on the 4 hours. So this is a swing example. It's a swing example. So Since it is a swing example, my entry will be on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, I don't want this video to be too long. Normally, if you watch other people's Notion journaling, they will not give you examples like this. But I just want to do an example so that you understand. All right. So now the model here is, you can see this is a market maker buy and sell model. So this is the sell side of the curve. Remember, I told you whenever you see a fall, there will be a rising. That's the principle behind market maker buy and sell model. So this is the sell side of the curve. We are expecting the buy side of the curve. So this has given you the overall picture. That is why we call it a model. So this is the sell side of the curve, and this will be the buy side of the curve. Okay, this will be the buy side of the curve. So if you go to GBP card as well, the same thing. Okay, so if you go to GBP card, we have the sell side of the curve, so we'll be looking out for the buy side of the curve. Now remember, from my SMT divergence lesson, I told you that whenever price get to a reversal zone, okay, that's why we don't trade SMT as a setup or as a signal. Whenever price get to your reversal zone, we look for a confluence, okay, or higher time frame confirmation, which is SMT divergence, telling you that yes, this demand zone will hold. Without this SMT, I will not take this trade from here. Okay, so this is the sell side of the curve and this is the buy side of the curve, and this is an inducement. So when you go to the 4 hours, you understand why this inducement is necessary. Okay, all right. So now, so what we'll do is we are supposed to do this thing on the 4 hours. Supposed to do it on the 4 hours before you enter. Okay, but I told you, like I said, this is not a premium account. Okay, so you come here and go to picture, this camera, click on it, and then copy the link. Copy the link, not copy image, copy the link. So after copying, you take it to Notion. So let's go to Notion and paste it. All right, so on Notion, we'll come here. On Notion, we'll come here, you paste it. So that's it. So if you click on it, it will take you to where the screenshot is, and show you the screenshot. Okay. All right. So after you've done this, remember we also need to take our risk reward, our stop loss, and all of that. So we'll do that on the 4 hour time frame. So let's go back to trading view. Okay, so here we are on the trading view. So guys, what we'll do now is to go to the 4 hour time frame. Like I said, this is not a premium account, so I cannot play price. So bear with me. All right, so now let's go to the 4 hours and see how we got our entry. Now remember that, like I said, this is the sell side of the curve. This is market maker buy and sell model. This is the sell side of the curve, and then we are expecting a buy side of the curve. Now, when price was here and it swept the liquidity there, you don't take your trade. You wait for an SMT divergence. Like you can see now, okay, market came down here. There was no SMT here. There was no SMT, so there's no trade here. So what happened again? In fact, we are not even supposed to consider this because there's no SMT. This is where we have SMT. So once you have SMT here, you get your change in state. Okay, what I wanted to say was change in state. There was no change in state of delivery here. So now we have our change in state of delivery here. We have our change in state of delivery. Then we have our fair value gap that confirms our change in state of delivery. So this is our fair value gap. Guys, follow me. So now, by the time you have this change in state of delivery, this candle you see here, okay, by the time you see this candle here, that's when you place your entry. Place your entry here, your stop loss below this candle. Your stop loss below this candle. Guys, this is a very big stop loss, but remember I said it's a swing trade. normally I would have gone to the 15 minutes time frame. Okay, 15 minutes time frame to get my change in states. Okay, that would be better. So but let's just, this is just an example, a rough example. My stop loss is not usually this. So this is what I would do. You target, remember, now let me tell you something. This is the inducement I was telling you about. So all of these things, you record it. Was there an inducement? Okay, even here, your entry, there was an inducement. So you put it, there was an inducement. That's why I say price did this. So if you're selling from here and you see inducement like this to a supply, you can take this trade because there's an inducement telling you that this man will play out. But this is not our focus for today. Okay, so I will take this as my target, giving me a 3 hour. Okay, so if I'm risking 1,000, I will get $3,000. So I will get $3,000 here. Okay, I'll get $3,000. So now remember, our stop loss is 40, our risk reward ratio is 3. Now you can do the same thing to G card. You want to take trade on G card as well. So for G card, this is the change in state of delivery. That's the change in state of delivery. Now, where is your fair value gap? This is my fair value gap. Remember, there have to be a fair value gap. So where is my entry? Would be at this fair value gap. So please take note of my entry so that when we get to Notion, you'll see it. So this one is 20. This is fair. Fair enough. So this is giving me 8 hour. This is giving me 8 hour because my stop loss is small. So G card offers a better risk reward. Okay, better risk reward. So this will now give me 8 hour. Okay, so you can decide to take G card. I didn't add this pair in the Notion, so just take it as an example. Okay, this is just an example. We are not doing it. So now you can see your change in state of delivery. You can see your entry. You can see your risk reward, your stop loss. Okay, so now you screenshot this, copy the link. Okay, as your trade after entry. So this is your trade after entry. So you go to, let's go to Notion and then put in and paste it there. All right, so here we are on Notion. So we'll go to, oh, look at, I made a mistake. Oh, I was supposed to paste the one I just copied, chart after entry. This one now I was supposed to paste it, chart before entry. So let me just understand, okay, guys, understand. I was supposed to paste this one here. Here is the chart after entry. So I don't want the video to be too long, please. Okay. Now you know your risk reward. You know your stop loss. You put your stop loss 20. So our risk reward, you put it 8. Okay. Then you can add the value here. So if you are risking 1%, you're getting 8,000. You can put it 8,000. You can put it 8,000. All right. So that's how you take your trade. Then after you have done this, remember you're feeling this. You're feeling this thing after you're feeling it after you have taken your trades. Okay, you're feeling it after taking your trades. You're feeling it after taking your trade. Now you saw the first day. Why this thing is like this is because the money we made on the first day was 8K. Okay, it was 8K. So and then we later dropped in to 450. So now let us make it Let me show you what to do. Let's go to the table. Okay, let's go to the table. So we made 8K here. So let's say the next day should be 10K. 15K, 20K. These are just example. Okay, 25K. These are just example. 25K, 25K. Okay. All right. So let's go to our calendar and watch. So for calendar, you see it, price, the PNL will be there. So you come here and now you now see your performance curve is now upwards. But the moment you drop more than 8K, it will go accordingly too. So there's nothing bad in that as long as your calendar is telling you you're winning. So at the end of the week, you will review. So guys, remember you're doing this thing after you have taken your trade, before you take your trade and after you take your trade. Then you do a weekly review. You do a weekly review. So this now will take us to the review. Okay. This will take us to the review. So guys, this is how you prepare your advanced notion, journaling. So watch the video over and over and prepare your own. Do it so that you have a record of what you're trading, your mistakes, the good trades, the bad trades, the session that is good for you. Okay. The setup, which setup is good for you, you stick to that one. Trading model, you stick to that one. All right. So it is from your journaling that you select the best setup, you select the best entry method, you select the best trading model. Okay. All right. So now let's move over to the review process. All right, guys. So I'm gradually coming to the end of this video. So the review process is weekly review. So what are the things? You look at what worked for you, what failed, what repeated, and what changes. So you do the week, you review, identity, you adjust for next week. So now what is happening is this. So the journal only becomes useful when you review it, and that's the truth. At the end of each week, look for repeated behaviors, strong setups, weak setups, and execution mistakes. Then make one or two specific adjustments for the following week. So that's how you do your review. Okay. All right. So after your review, you look at the FXPilot traders checklist. You can prepare your own checklist. It must not be like this. This is just a note. Okay, a checklist. So before I trade, I always ask myself, is the setup valid? Is the context clear? Is my risk defined? After I trade, I will now go back and check, did I follow my plan? What caused the result? What should I repeat or change? So these are the kind of checklists you prepare for yourself. Okay, and then before you put your normal trading plan arrangement. Okay, so the summary is this: the checklist is before you plan, you trade, you review, and you improve. Okay, you plan, you trade, you review, and you improve. So that means before the trade, follow your plan. That's what it means. After the trade, review your behavior. The goal is not to eliminate losing trade. It is to make sure every trade gives you information that can help you become a better trader. All right, so guys, here we are on the lesson summary. So as you can see, we are gradually, this is the end of it, gradually coming to the end of it. So guys, the summary is that your journal should record, it should analyze, it should expose, and it should improve. So record, analyze, expose patterns, and improve. A powerful journal does four things. It records what happened, it analyzes the data, it exposes your patterns, and help you to improve. That's the summary of what you see on the screen. If it doesn't help you make a better decision, simplify it. All right, guys, so if you found this video valuable, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn concepts like this with practical breakdowns and real chart examples, hit the notification bell to receive notification each time a new video is posted. Until then, trade smart, stay disciplined, and I will see you in the next one.